Chapter 10 of The Flying Eyes by J. Hunter Holly. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 10. It wasn't even a full day before the news seeped through the lab that Collins' plan had been approved and set in motion. Evacuation was started. Slow evacuation that sent cars out on the roads one at a time. How long it would take to complete, Link couldn't guess, but the idea of a bomb falling on the people trapped in the hole spurred him to find some alternative action. Wes came back from the cafeteria with 4 sandwiches and 2 steaming coffees. He plunked them on the desk, gave a peevish glance at the eye, which they never covered anymore, and let loose. You were right, Link. 400 yards apart. They spaced the evacuating cars 400 yards apart, and the people go out, hopeful for the first time in days, and the eyes pick them off one by one. The single cars? Link asked. Enough singles finally make a group, and they're clever, Link. A car goes down the road, swerves off into the ditch, and the people get out zombie style. Another car comes, and it repeats the action. When the eyes have a group gathered, they lead them off to the hole. This time they were clever enough to force the drivers off the road to avoid the traffic jams that would stop the flow of people coming to them. The evacuation has been called off, of course? Not yet. People are still going out and still being taken. I don't know what the brass is thinking of. I tried to talk to Iverson. He wouldn't listen. And Stanley. This lab has split wide open, taken 2 sides, and Stanley is with Collins. That puts the weight there. What are we going to do now? Wes was almost frantic. The picture of hopeful people being sent out to horror and then ultimately bombed to nothingness was too much for him to stomach. We've got to show Iverson that Collins is wrong. There's only one possible way. We'll use the time it takes them to come to their senses to prove what's going on in that hole. If someone could actually find out what is down there, what goes on in that pit, the bomb business could be decided one way or the other. We've got to get into that hole and get out again with a report. That's the only way. Wes didn't doubt it for a moment. He only doubted the possibility of doing it. Half of the scouts who go out to watch the place don't even make it back, Link. The National Guard has the hole ringed with men, and some of them get taken. You sound discouraged, Link chided. And you have no right to be. Not now. Our work has finally paid off. You and I can do what no other men have a chance of doing. Wes, what would it take to go into that hole and come back out? Guts, Wes said. And not even guts would do it. Only a free mind. You go in hypnotized and come out hypnotized, like Hendrix, so guts wouldn't do you an iota of good. If you're hypnotized. We've learned not to be. Don't you see? We can stand against the eyes. We've done it right here in this room. We could go down into that hole, have a look around, and come back out free agents. It would take more than we've managed so far. A lot of fighting against the hypnosis, but it could be done. The eyes would spot us among their zombies. Not if we walked like zombies. Who would see a zombie among zombies? We go out on the road, drive our car into the ditch, and walk away like the rest of the people do. Then, fighting against the hypnosis, fighting like hell, we get ourselves into that hole and out again. Wes pursed his lips. You keep saying we. It shouldn't be we. Only one of us should try it, so that if he fails, the other will be left. If we're so unique, Link, then one of us has to be preserved. But the idea as a whole, what do you think? I think it's good. It's smart, and most importantly, it's human. I'd do anything to save those poor wretches from evaporation and an A-bomb. Then it only remains to decide which one of us will go. Let me. Wes was quick with the decision. I don't kid myself that I'm as necessary as you are. If I'm lost, you'll still be here to think up something else. If you were lost, I'd found her. Those aren't good enough reasons, Wes. The one of us who is most able should go, and I think that's me. I've stood out against the eye for 45 minutes. You've only managed a half hour. But this is different. This is all or nothing. A man musters extra strength in this kind of situation. Link didn't want to argue. Not about this. Not about life and death. He knew he was best qualified. He had to go. But he postponed the decision. Let's wait a while to decide. Let's think about it without hurry. All right? Wes nodded his assent. Then, Link added, I'm going home. If it's me, I need some rest. I can use the change of scene and the quiet anyway. Go ahead. Just be sure to feed Ichabod. I put his plate in the refrigerator. Let it warm up before you give it to him. He'll tell me what to do, Link smiled. I'll be back by 4, maybe earlier. Think this over carefully, Wes. Don't let your nerves and your conscience get the better of your judgment. Link's key opened the front door, and he was surprised that Ichabod didn't come bounding to meet him. He made his way to the kitchen and discovered the reason. Kelly was there, puttering, doing up their breakfast dishes, and the dog was content in her company. His plate was on the floor, already empty. "Hi," Kelly called. "Are you alone?" "Wes stayed at the lab." "I should have known. If he had come, Ichabod would have deserted me. He's a loyal little devil." "How'd you get in?" Link asked. "Wes gave me a key." Link cleared his throat meaningfully, softening it with a grin. "No," Kelly laughed. "It was just that I was afraid, and so he gave me the key. My apartment seems spookier than this house. Maybe because Ichabod's here, or maybe because there are people so close to me there. Isn't it funny? It used to be that I felt secure knowing there were people in the rooms below me. Now I'm more afraid of the people than I am of the eyes." "That will soon change." "I know," she said. "I'm on the list for evacuation in 5 days. I can't wait to get out. When are you scheduled?" "Never. No one's getting away. The eyes are capturing every evacuee." "Oh, no." Kelly's reaction was more than he had expected. She went pale and clutched the sink. "Then we'll just have to stay here and hide from each other forever?" "Not that either. Pour that coffee you're brewing, and I'll tell you about it." She did as he said silently. When she was seated across from him, and the coffee was creamed and cooling, he laid the plan out. She listened, but didn't comprehend the good of it, only the danger. "Which one of you is going?" she asked. "I am." "No, it shouldn't be you. Wes wants to go. Let him." "I can't, Kelly. He's not well prepared." "That's just your egotism showing. You never think anyone else can do the job as well as you. I don't think I could stand it, Link, if you didn't come back." "Come on, Kelly," he scoffed. "This concern isn't flattering to you. You haven't made a choice between Wes and me. It couldn't matter to you which of us went." "You never give me credit, do you? Maybe the last days have changed things for me. Maybe I have made a choice. This danger, Link, changes a woman. She suddenly finds that she does need someone, and things come into focus, and she knows who that someone is." "Just by the magic formula of how well he can protect her?" "Is that wrong? Does it matter what yardstick I used, just so long as I used it and you were the one to measure up?" There was the ring of dishonesty about what she said, and Link hated himself for hearing it. Kelly was beautiful at this moment, with her green eyes worried, her hand pleading with him. 2 weeks before, he could have asked for nothing else from her. Now he wondered. "Link, you love me. You've never said it, but I know. I've been a fool to keep you distant, a fool to resist. I'm not resisting anymore." She came around to his side of the table, and she was tall and slim as he looked up at her. "Or," she murmured, "are you just a man who likes the chase, and who backs off after he has won?" He saw through her game. She was turning on the sex. She had never used it on him before except teasingly, and although he knew this entire sequence was deliberate, he didn't care. He stood and drew her against him, and she didn't pull away. She came into his arms, pliant and past flirtation. He kissed her, and she answered it, and it was sweet as he imagined it would be in the days when he had waited for her to answer him, and not simply allow his kisses. "Let Wes go," she whispered. "Don't tear yourself away from me, now that we've found each other." "But, Kelly!" Her fingers came up to quiver against his lips and halt the protest. "Wes wants to go, Link. He's just as capable as you are. If you'd be honest with yourself, you'd know it. Let him do this, if it means so much to him. And you stay here with me, if I mean anything to you." She was making sense, even over the emotions the touch of her raised in him. He knew she was making sense. Wes was just about as capable as he was, and Wes had a mission. A man with a mission always had the better chance of winning. If he himself went, he would be torn, part of him staying with Kelly. Wes had nothing to hinder him, only a humanitarian mission to push him forward. There was no room for conscience with Kelly in his arms. He had waited too long for her to be there. When he let himself realize it, he rode high on the crest of victory. Wes was a rival no longer, but a man who wanted with all his soul to undertake the zombie trip into the lair of the eyes and rescue humanity. He couldn't deny Wes what Wes wanted most in the world. Not when what he wanted most in the world was just now being given to him. He wouldn't let Wes decide. If Wes still wanted to go, Wes would go. "I hope," he whispered to her, "you haven't discovered my weak spot and are playing on it."
You don't have a weak spot, darling?
Ichabod was snuffing around their feet, but Link stopped hearing as Kelly's mouth tilted upward, waiting for his again. He met her mouth with his own, and the decision was made. At 3:30, a car pulled into the drive. Wes got out of it. He was anxious, his nerves rawly showing for the first time since Link had known him. "I simply couldn't wait any longer," he explained, stemming the eager yaps of Ichabod. "We can't put this action off, Link. All the time we spent choosing up sides allows more people to be taken into that hole. Put more there for Collins to destroy." "I know," Link answered. "That's been on my mind, too." "Then what have you decided? Which one of us is going?" Kelly's eyes flashed to Link, and he shifted. "It's not my decision alone, you know, Wes. It's up to both of us." "But knowing you, you'll make it," Wes grinned. "And you? Have you thought about it further? Have you really thought it out?" "All afternoon, but I couldn't do much thinking through my impatience." "We've got to get moving. I still want to go if that's what you're getting at. After you left the lab, I went up against the eye all by myself. I fought it for 35 minutes before I had to quit. And then I quit of my own accord. That was intense concentration, face to face. This job won't be that way. It will be an evasion tactic." "It won't be any picnic." Link couldn't bring himself to voice his decision yet. "Who expects a picnic?" Wes came forward 2 steps. "Please, Link, don't waste any more time. Who is it to be?" Kelly's taut gaze was on him again, and he answered, "If you want it this badly, Wes, what can I say?" "You mean you'll let me be the first to go?" Link nodded, strongly aware that he might be making the wrong choice. "You can go. I'll play backstop this time." Wes grasped his arms, smiling and flushed. "I never once believed you'd agree. Now that it's settled, I'm going to get started right away, before dark. I can't wait through another night. By the way, I didn't mention a word to Iverson or anybody else. Should we notify them?" "No. If we ask for permission, we'll only get more arguments. We'll go this one alone." "That's what I thought, too. Well," Wes swiveled awkwardly in the center of the floor, "I may as well get going."
"Right now?"
Kelly was startled. "I want to reach the hole before dark." "Not yet." Link felt a sudden need to hold his friend back. "We have to plan this out first. Set some action." "We did all that this morning. There's nothing to plan. I drive out, pose as a zombie, go to the hole, and from there on, planning won't help me anyway. Besides, there isn't time. Iverson may call off the slow evacuation and speed things up since the eyes are getting the people anyway." "Where'd you hear that news?" "At the lab. It's all confusion out there. Rumors are flying thicker than the eyes. So I'm going, and going now. No more arguments, okay?" Kelly crossed to Wes and hugged him close.
"I didn't realize it would be so soon. Take care, and don't throw yourself away in the name of heroism. Turn back if you see you can't make it."
Wes kissed her lightly on the cheek, then took Link's hand in a strong clasp. "Let's leave it like this. I'll be back if I can get back by tomorrow night. That gives me plenty of leeway. So, tomorrow night by dusk, or never. All clear?" "Take it easy, and bring back what we need, friend." Wes walked to the door. "Take care of Ichabod for me, won't you? I'm entrusting him to you. And don't worry, I'll see you tomorrow for supper." He went out. The car door slammed, and he was gone. Link was numb. It had happened so quickly. There had been no hesitation, no lingering farewell. It was over already, and it had barely begun. But Wes hadn't wanted to wait. He had made up his mind to do it, and he was doing it. Link looked to Kelly, and she echoed his numbness.
"He could have at least had dinner,"
she said. There was fear in her eyes and a doubt that hadn't been there before. But Wes was gone, and there was nothing either of them could do about it except wait. They waited in the house together, but alone, too tense to take sympathy for each other. The joy Link had known a few hours before was submerged in worry. Night passed, and in the morning the sun was hidden behind a heavy overcast. Outside the windows, Colt Street was in full glory as the trees outlined themselves in their fiery colors against the dark sky. But there was no word. Link went to the lab after breakfast to check on his caged eye. He stopped to see no one, and when Iverson shot a question at him from down the hall, he mumbled words he knew would be incoherent but would sound like an answer, and hurried out. He didn't want to be questioned. When Wes returned, successful, that would be soon enough for revelation. When he reached home again, Kelly was in the living room with the vacuum cleaner, dumping ashtray debris and rubbish into a paper bag.
I've never seen such a mess. Remind me never to include a man in my housekeeping.
I thought that was just about settled yesterday.
Only on the condition that you promise more consideration than this. For instance, when you get mail, dump the envelopes in the wastebasket, not on the coffee table. And cigarette packages, and matchbooks, and newspapers. In 2 weeks, you wouldn't be able to climb over the mountain of papers you'd have in here.
Link watched her work, trying to drain contentment from it. It was a good moment. Kelly's new relationship with him made it good. And yet, he couldn't relish it. There was too much on his mind to let contentment in. The eyes, the one eye imprisoned in the cage, and Wes. Most of all, Wes. He kept imagining what Wes was doing at any given moment. He mentally placed him deep inside the hole, but the background of the picture was so uncertain, so nebulous, that he could go no further. Only Wes could fill in that background. It wouldn't be too many hours before Wes would be home.
I'm cooking tonight, Kelly interrupted his thoughts. Fried chicken and candied sweet potatoes.
Wes's favorites?
Yes, he'll deserve anything he wants after today.
Caught up again in his own thoughts, it didn't seem long before Kelly had finished the housework and was in the kitchen, banging pots and pans about. He looked out of the windows, and Colt Street was darkening. The street lamps were on, and the trees were shadowed. Dusk. He listened for the sound of the car, but there was nothing. Give him time, Link told himself. It's still early. Give the man time. And the time went by. Kelly's special dinner was ready, then held in the warming oven, then dried out and cold. They didn't even nibble at it. At 10 o'clock, Link picked up the phone and dialed the number of the lab. "Is Wes there by any chance?" he asked. The reply was loud in his ear, but Kelly was straining to hear. Link put the phone back in its cradle and turned to her. She read the answer in his eyes, and quickly lit a cigarette.
"A lot of things could have delayed him," she said.
"Just one thing would have been enough."
"Don't believe that, Link. No eye in the world could defeat Wes, not in the state he was in. He had the courage of 20 men.
He went too fast. He was over-anxious. I should have known better than to let him go that way. I was a fool." Kelly snuffed the cigarette out.
"Is it all right if I stay the night, or would you rather—"
"It makes no difference to me. I'm not going to bed anyway. I'm going to stay right here in this chair until Wes comes. And he better come. He damn well better." Kelly stood up at his desperate, angry tone.
"I'll make some more coffee, in case it's a long wait."
She left the room, and Link was alone with only the sleepy eyes of Wes's little spotted dog. He refused to look at Ichabod. There was only one thing important in Ichabod's world, Wes, and he couldn't stand to think that perhaps Ichabod's world was now empty. End of chapter 10.